What's going on, guys? Arekkz here, welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video, and today I want to talk about legendary weapons. Of course, in a game like Borderlands where loot basically makes the world go round, legendary weapons are of course one of the most exciting things, and while I was at the gameplay reveal event, you guys might have seen the video already, I was lucky enough to get a legendary weapon drop from the boss, but that was not the only one available. While we were playing through, had a chance to, of course, do various different activities. Some of these dropped just while playing through, and on occasion, towards the end of the stream, when we were about to wrap up, some of the developers came over and pressed the magic button that spawned some loot for us. We had a chance to check out some more legendary weapons. So in this video, I thought I'd quickly put together a list of 10 legendary weapons we know of so far. Some of these we have extensive gameplay for, some of these we have just seen in passing, but regardless, I want to talk about some of the coolest sounding ones so far. So if you guys do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of these so far, which one stands out to you the most, which one do you like the most, and of course if you guys have a giveaway for a chance to win a Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch, the link to that is in the description box down below. Now, to begin with, there is a really awesome weapon called the Babymaker Plus, and this is the one that TwoSixNine got towards the end of his stream. The tagline for the weapon is, "Who's a whittle gunny oney?" But the brand for this is TDR, and if you guys know your brands, then you know what this means. But this is pretty awesome because, of course, TDR weapons, they're the ones that you throw them to reload them, and invariably that gun then spawns legs and runs around, or sometimes they will instead bounce, sometimes they then split into rockets. This one, however, is kind of a combination of two. You throw it, and it can stick to surfaces, which is kind of useful, but more importantly, when you throw it, it breaks off into initially what looks like a cluster bomb explosion, but what actually happens is it then splits into 4 smaller gun turrets. So you basically have a semi-automatic pistol, which is fun to use, good to use on its own, which you can then throw and can then spawn 4 smaller semi-automatic pistols with legs that'll then run after any targets nearby. It's incredibly awesome. However, unfortunately, this only dropped towards the end of our streams. We didn't really get a chance to use it too much, but you can still see a super quick snippet of how it works in action. Of course, following on from there, we have the Smart Gun XXL, which I did a dedicated video on the other day. This is the one that drops from the Gigamine boss. This is the one that is also a TDR weapon. This one's an SMG, but this one, when you throw it, instead of just sprouting legs and looking like the gun that it typically would, this one instead has a brain with spider legs, and it then runs around shooting corrosive bullets. If you want a more extensive look at that one, you can of course check out the video linked down below. Now moving on from there, as mentioned, some of these we didn't get a chance to actually see in action. We simply saw them called out, or people kind of told us about different drops they got, but one of them is called Conference Call. This is a Hyperion weapon, it's a shotgun, and this is actually a returning legendary from Borderlands 2. So for those of you guys that played Borderlands 2, then you'll already be familiar with this, but for this, when the pellets hit something, they create more pellets that fly perpendicular to where you fired them, meaning it can hit more enemies. So essentially, you fire it into a crowd of enemies, and then while shooting straight in front, you can effectively hit everything in the crowd if they are grouped accordingly. And of course, being Hyperion, it also means when you aim down sights, it gives you a shield for your gun, which can also reflect bullets back at its attackers, which is kind of handy. You have a weapon called the Infinity, which is a returning legendary from Borderlands 2. This is a Vladov pistol with an endless clip, so fire as long as you want. You then also have a weapon called Laser Sploder, where the description for this is lasers does not equal explosions, ? But this is a Torg weapon. It's an assault rifle, and for this one it has the radiation element, and it shoots out homing explosive projectiles, as well as a continuous beam of energy. And of course, radiation is the new element in Borderlands 3. This one, on the surface, it might look similar to corrosive in that it also does damage over time, but when this one finishes and an enemy gets destroyed, it actually explodes and spreads to nearby enemies, so again, this is incredibly useful in a group. Now, another one we got to look at towards the end of the stream was the Pestilent Phase. This is a Vladov legendary weapon. It's an assault rifle, and this one has a special perk, Corrosive Element, where it rapid fires radiation bolts, and being Vladov, it has an underbarrel attachment, which in this case is a shotgun, and the underbarrel fires 6 damaging balls of energy that do massive damage. So on the surface, you have this handy assault rifle, which is a really nice weapon type. They are pretty stable, they're pretty good all round, but then you can switch to this and just dish out incredible energy damage. You have a weapon called Painless Power, which is a Children of the Vault weapon, which is a new brand manufacturer in Borderlands 3. It's an assault rifle, and what's really cool about this one is typically Children of the Vault weapons have unlimited magazines. They instead have a heat meter, so long as you can kind of maintain that heat or manage that heat, you can essentially keep firing indefinitely or while you have ammo. But for this one specifically, it instead has the unlimited magazine, but then what it does is it begins to drain your health and your shields once you hit max overheat. So whereas the traditional, non-legendary versions of Children of the Vault weapons, when they overheat, they break, With these ones, it'll instead start draining your shield and your health, which means you can play a little bit risky. You can effectively continue to fire if you wanted to continue laying down that damage, but it does also mean you're going to be hurting yourself in the process. There's a weapon called Polybius, which is a TDR weapon, again, this time a shotgun, and this shoots out lines of 4 projectiles for each shot, and it has a magazine size of 8, with the first 4 shots being vertical lines and the last 4 shots being horizontal lines, and this can then be thrown to create a turret version of the gun. You have a weapon called the Boring Gun, which is a Torg shotgun, and this one actually shoots saw blades that roll across the ground before exploding, which is incredibly awesome and actually kind of makes me think of that boss that fires saw blades towards you. We saw that in the trailer, so yeah, that's one that I want in my arsenal. And we also have a weapon called the Handsome Jackhammer. This is a Hyperion SMG, and this, again, being Hyperion, gives you shields when you aim down sights. But for this one, when you reload it, it actually acts like a TDR weapon in that you throw it and it bounces multiple times and it explodes each time it hits a surface. So, yo, if you like explosions, then this might be your thing. But that's pretty much it for the time being. Let's quick look at 10 awesome legendary weapons. Of course, there are going to be plenty more. There are over a bazillion guns or a billion guns or whatever it is in this game. So safe to say, there's going to be a lot more legendary weapons to talk about. But for the time being, those are a few that we know about so far. Again, let me know in the comments down below which one you guys like the sound of the most. And of course, keep it locked for plenty more Borderlands content. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to check out some more awesome stuff from us here at Arekkz Gaming, then you should definitely try to catch 269 and Paradise Central streaming 6 days a week. You can find a link to the multi-stream in the description box down below. They play a wide range of games, and what's more, we also have the Endgame store. By watching their streams, you earn currency, and you can redeem that currency on the Endgame store for really cool prizes. Those can range from things like games, comics, and figures, all the way up to controllers, capture cards, and even consoles. So definitely drop by and become part of the community. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you're subscribed and be sure to click on that little bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss our next upload. You can watch more videos by clicking on the options here, but once again, thanks very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.